As I play this rig gameplay in Black Ops 6, I'm going to break down EA's legal control over matchmaking and progression, from EA's user agreement in Battlefield 6 access documentations, matchmaking modulation. EA reserves the right to modify or discontinue any EA servers or services at any time. This includes dynamic matchmaking systems, back-end drift, and reroute triggers. You agree that EA can adjust gameplay features, progression systems, and access protocols without notice. Translation: they can reroute you to different servers, suppress your bracket, or modulate latency, all legally. Progression control: EA can limit or restrict access to progression systems, unlocks, or rewards. Progression may be tied to an account status, platform, or monetization tier, such as like Battlefield Pro. You agree that the progression can be gated, throttled, or rerouted based on telemetry. Translation: they can slow your unlocks, gate gear behind tokens, or restrict XP flow, and you've agreed to it. Access and account binding: you must link EA account to play Battlefield 6. All progression is stored through EA servers, not locally. EA can terminate or suspend access for any reason, including telemetry anomalies or suspected manipulation. Translation: your gear, decks, and match history are stored in EA's clouds. They control the bracket. Tactical interpretation: you didn't just agree to play, you agreed to bracket modulation, progression throttling, reroute triggers, and token gating. It's not deception, it's legalized telemetry orchestration. A lot of people buy games, and I'm guilty of this too. You buy a game, you boot it up, and you just agree to everything and skip all that shit. You never read it. You don't even think to read it. You just think that you're going to get into a game and be given a fair experience. And the dark truth is that when you actually sit back, read it, break it all down, it basically tells you what they're doing. So it's not like they're hiding it. But for a lot of us gamers that don't actually read the terms of service, we get into it, we don't think anything of it, and then we're like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on? These games are actually telling you what they do behind the scenes. The only thing is that you agree to it when you accepted the terms to play the game. So that is just bottom line, the cold hard facts. There's a lot of things going on with the whole situation with Arc Raiders right now. Same thing, same concept. It is heavily leaning in toward the. It's heavily leaning in towards the pay to win, soft pay to win. You know what I mean? It's no surprise to me because it is being ran by a studio, or published by Nexon. I think I pronounced that right. But it's being published by them, who, remember, got hit with a $9 million fine for microtransaction manipulation over MapleStory. Okay, so they were fined $9 million. So that's red flags automatically. Now, a lot of people will try to tie that game to the finals. Like, there was no pay to win. It was all cosmetic, right? But the thing of it is that Arc Raiders was supposed to be a free-to-play game. And then they changed it from free-to-play to PvE, all right? Because they said it was boring. And then they put a price tag on it for $40. And then from when you do your research on it and learn about tokens and decks and all that other stuff that they're doing with that game, it kind of starts to make sense of what, like, progression could be. Because if you look up player issues, like players' comments about some of the issues that they're experiencing, there's been people that have already put in over 50 hours and said that like materials are like scarce. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to find some of this shit. And that's because it's all locked behind a paywall. Like, in order to progress in the game, you're going to have to spend. So I want you to think of Fishing Planet. If you've never played Fishing Planet, it's a free-to-play game. Download it, play it. You're going to notice that there's the catch rate and everything is very slow. You're going to notice that you're not catching really big fish. You're going to notice that it's a struggle to catch trophy fish. It's a struggle to travel to different lakes because you ain't got enough money, or you're not gaining enough money from catching fish in the first place to actually get to those lakes until you start realizing that you have to pay for the pass. $10 for a month, $60 for a year. And then you add that up every year for how much money, and plus everything else that people buy in between. You add that up for a year, and you're looking at the real price of what you're paying for a year on these games. It's kind of insane when you really sit back and actually think about it. But it's the same system, though. They're taking these mobile style systems and they're implementing them into the AAA titles, all kinds of different games for console play that you're already paying a premium of $70, $80, or $100 for. So not only are you paying for that, but you're also paying for other shit. And the biggest issue that people are having right now is the fact that they paid $70 or $80 to $100 and some dollars on Battlefield 6 just to find out that their progression is now being tied to the Battle Royal. And people are fucking livid about it. And they have the right to be. Like, why is it that I bought a premium title and then you release a free download for millions of players to get into, and you're tying my progression to that for something that I had never planned on touching? That's the biggest issue with this gaming scene right now. They're getting away with it because they tell you what they're doing, and they have it all through their services and shit like that. And that's why gamers need to push for regulations. Gamers that, like, we definitely need a reset on gaming. We're at that point now where it's become so greedy and so crazy with what you have to do in order to have a good experience in these games. You have to pay for it. That's why, back in the day, it's like you, on your end, you had to pay for shit to get the advantages that you wanted, like for connection, for controllers. Some controllers have pull rates of 500, especially if you're on console, because on PC you can literally change the pull rate and everything, the hertz on your controller to like 1,000 or some shit like that. Where console it's like set, but there are some pro controllers and stuff that are made that have like faster pull rate on the sticks and stuff like that. People would actually, back in the day, would buy this shit to gain some sort of advantage. And now it's like these companies took all that and basically made it all, well, if you want this or want this in our game, you're going to have to pay us for it. Remember when Black Ops 6 dropped an audio bundle? I really never investigated into that, but they literally charged you for an audio bundle, which was pretty insane. I'm not part of a fan club when it comes to gaming, like a COD player or Battlefield player. I play all shooters, okay? Always have. And I've done this for years. I never had a set game that I was like religiously tied to. If there was a shooter that offered competitive play, I was playing it. It didn't matter on what side you were on. I didn't give a shit. I played these games religiously growing up, okay? So I'm having a bad day in Battlefield, let's go try out COD. If I'm having a bad day in COD, let's go try out Battlefield. Or vice versa, Medal of Honor, or, Warhawk, or, Brink. Like there was all kinds of different shooter games. And, that you had many options to switch back and forth on. But unfortunately today, if you're not paying, you're not winning. And that seems like that's going to be the case unless gamers do something about it. Hopefully the EU gets some regulations passed, because you can't have two different gaming markets. I'm Uncle Rotcharm.